my God, there he is. Oh my
Hello.
God, Andy Bell. This is so crazy. I'm so excited for our guest today. He was such a huge inspiration for me in my life. He's the lead singer of the band Erasure, and with his bandmate Vince Clarke, they've written over 200 songs, sold over 25 million records. It's the incredible Andy Bell. I cannot believe I'm chatting with you.
Hello.
Right
Welcome.
Hi, Dr. Wally.
Hi.
Hello.
you have to know something, that this is so bizarre for me in the most glorious way. I probably know every word to every song.
Oh.
I do. I talk about how you are such a massive influence on me. I remember this. I'm going to start out by saying this, and then I'll let you talk, I promise.
Okay.
Is when I was 1988, my first year of college. And when it's your first year of college, you're out of home and you're like, oh my God, I'm free. Oh my God. And A Little Respect was the #1 song, I think, in the world. I'm probably sure. And so it was everywhere. It was like, and then the Innocence album, and before that, Wonderland, and just all the. So anyway, and we used to drive to the gay bars like an hour away and put Wonderland on and all these songs by you. And so I was floored. This is what I wanted to tell you. I was floored at 18 years old learning, because my roommate at the time was like, oh yeah, he's gay. And I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what? And the guy, and my friend Randy was like, yeah, no, he's gay. And I couldn't believe you could make a living in the arts being open and gay in 1988. And that completely blew my mind. It opened up every kind of door and window into my psyche to think that, gosh, if Andy Bell could be out and proud and just and also unbelievably talented, maybe there's like a space for me somewhere. And so, yeah, it's true. And I used to just, I'll go bullet points super fast. These are the things. And I used to take singing lessons in college and ask my teacher if he can make me sing like you. I went to the Wild Tour. I went to the Phantasmagorical Tour, where I shoved my way to the front row, singing every word to every song. And you threw your wet towel at me. In the front, yes, in the front row, out of the thousands of people, you were like, "Woo!" Because I think you saw me fanning out or something. You're like, that idiot needs my towel. And so,
and Sean's like, I have it right here.
I swear to God, I saved it for years.
No.
I saved it for years. Yeah,
It probably stinks, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, well, it stank when you threw it. But anyway, no. But I thought I was going to be a pop star and write music in the style of Erasure, and I did, and I recorded songs when I was younger. It's so embarrassing, but I must say, now that I know how the instrument of the voice works I've done Broadway and I did blah, 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 blah. And I recognize that you're one of the few singers who sings, for lack of a better word, properly, meaning unlike other singers who are pop stars and in the world and tour as much as you do and record as much as you do, you're able to do so because you have the training to back up just the kind of muscle that it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's funny, yeah, because it's kind of like a natural thing. I think I've learned over the years. For me, I'm sure with your acting as well, it's kind of, you just feel if you're not improving while you're going along,
right,
then I don't see the point of doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
You have to be learning all the time.
Right. I mean, it's true though. I recognized it even as a young kid, like. You sing from the diaphragm. You know how to do phrasing. You know how to do all of that. And there are people like Lady Gaga knows how to do that too. And there are other like proper singers like yourself like that know just how to do it. And it's no wonder you can do it so well and have been doing it for so many years.
Yeah, it kind of comes naturally, you because when I don't watch myself back very much, but when you listen to yourself on a recording on the stage, you can hear when you're running out of breath and stuff like that. So I think your mind just learns how to slow down a little bit, take a breath here on the side and then and then kind of work back into it again,
Yeah. And I ran into you at one of your concerts where you were touring with other people. Of course, I blocked them out because I was like, and we saw each other like backstage or something for a second. And I said to you, God, I don't know how you memorize all those lyrics to all those songs. And you go, I don't know how you memorized all those lines.
Oh my God.
I was like, really? You just memorized them. But how do you, with over 200 songs, sorry to ask such dumb questions.
It's fine.
But are you ever on tour and you're like on autopilot and you're like, I know the words, but I just don't know how I'm saying them. Yeah,
when you get really tired, I'm writing at the moment, but when you get tired as you said, you go into autopilot. But I find now, even in real life, I get my sentences and things the wrong way round, or the words will come out in the wrong order. And I think that's as well from being on stage and being on autopilot. And the same thing happens. Like I might sing verse 1 on verse 2 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I find it much easier when a note is attached to the word. That's why I can't do acting, because I can't do speaking words. Because for me, they don't have notes.
All right, let me tell you a little secret.
Yeah.
This is how I memorize lines.
Yeah.
Because where I'm standing, if I walk, and I'm standing at the corner of the couch, I'll know that triggers this one line. And then if I walk to the fridge, I'll stand in front of the fridge while the camera's rolling. I'm like, oh, this is that line. So it's similar, I guess.
So I just need to name what you both are describing here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
genius?
You're both,
are you describing genius?
Well, okay.
That's weird.
Besides the genius, but it's important to remember that memories are stored in the body. So when you're singing a note, you're actually using your entire body to express that note, and the language associated with that physicality is what seals the memory. Same thing with Sean, like the physicality of being in a particular location. This is why it's so important in trauma recovery, because the memories are stored at the level of the body. And so in order to heal from trauma, it actually has to happen on a body level. So you're both naming the same principles, that memories exist on a cellular level. It's not just in our heads.
Yeah, it's true. That's true for every single aspect of your life, isn't it? Like memories throughout your whole life. Even, if you've lost somebody, or, you revert back to that. I feel at the same time, a year after or 5 years after, at the same time of the month, so to speak, you'll have that memory will trigger itself.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally.
For sure.
And there are even positions, like if you slouch a particular way, that could elicit a specific memory from an earlier period of time. So it's literally in our physicalities.
Okay, so speaking of triggering memories, Andy, let's try a fun little thing before we get to the medical part of this show.
Okay.
So name a song. By the way, I'm just thinking of this in the moment. Name a song, and I'll try to do the words.
Okay, you'll try to do the words. If I name a song, oh, this is a bit tricky though. You mean one of our songs?
Yeah.
Or any song?
No, what about Erasure song?
Oh, Blue Savannah?
Ooh, Savannah, Blue Savannah song. Oh, Blue Savannah song. Somewhere across the desert and a million hot flowers.
That's correct. That is correct.
Ding, ding, ding.
To the clouds and thunder. My home is where my heart is. I love that fight.
That's
one of my favorite songs. I love that.
Lovely.
Andy, will you take Sean on tour with you, please?
Sure, yeah, I'd love to. I think we'd make a great team.
All right, so now let's get to this medical thing, which is, I know nothing about it. I don't know what this word means. I'm so excited Bianca's here. And I can't even pronounce it. Avascular necrosis.
Avascular necrosis.
Avascular necrosis. What is it?
So,
please educate me.
Well, basically, Andy, before you share your experience, just for Sean, it's basically when you lose blood flow to your hip bones, and the hip bone basically doesn't get enough blood in it, and it dies a little bit.
Wait, just specifically to the hip bone, no other bones?
Well, it can happen to other parts, but avascular necrosis usually happens in the hip area. And if you don't treat it, the hip joint can collapse. So it's a fairly serious sort of situation.
Wow.
But Andy, tell us the story. Like, how did it start? When did you first notice the symptoms?
Right. Well, to be honest, I don't really know how it happened. I mean, it was I think it was around maybe the 1995 or 1998 period when I found out I was HIV positive in about 1997, I think. And then, and because, I started then the regimen, which was quite heavy then.
And new, right? A little.
It was new. It was new. Yeah. I joined just after AZT. So I was quite lucky because that was a poisonous drug at the time. But anyway, they don't really know the reason why this avascular necrosis happens, because whether it's to do with the drug, or whether it was to do with I don't know, my lifestyle, or just dancing around on the stage so much and doing at that time pogo. Well, I thought pogo was really fashionable, after the punk movement, which is just basically jumping up and down like you're on a pogo stick.
Sure. Right.
And
right.
I was doing that all the time on stage, you know,
Right.
and I'm not like a natural born dancer, so I wouldn't do warm-ups and stretches and things like that, would just go on. So it was pretty brutal. You know, I know that Andy Murray had the same thing. He's had his hips replaced as well.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't realize I was just, because it was so slow when it happens, I was just kind of like, I thought I was in dreadful pain and just kind of like walking around and holding onto the tables when I got up to go, you know, just across the room basically. And, and you know, they took x-rays and saw that one was worse than the other one. I think it was my left-hand side was worse than the other one. So I had them replaced in 2005 in tandem, one after the other.
Oh, wow.
It was the Queen Mother's surgeon that we just happened to find her. She was called Sarah Muirhead Allwood, and she's still working now. She's in her 70s.
That's so cool, by the way, just to have that surgeon.
That's amazing. She said to me, she said, "Oh, I hope you'll be really pleased with the operation. I put you some lovely pink ceramic cups on the top of my hip joints." So, and when you die, you can pass them on to somebody else. So hopefully, if anybody's out there 5'11" in like 25 years' time.
I'm 5'11". I want
Sean would be honored to have your hips. So, Andy, can you walk us through when you said you were sort of hanging onto tables, there was pain. Where exactly was the pain in your body?
I mean, it is in your hips, but it kind of goes round to your backs. Is that your flexors or something? Hip flexors?
Yeah, like your buttocks and
yes.
Classically, it can also be pain in the groin area, and there can be limping as well. Was that your experience?
It is, because it's so slow, the degeneration, your mind isn't kind of in control of it, or it doesn't really realize what's going on. So you're walking around, and it's incredible how high the human pain threshold is.
Right.
You know, when something's so gradual like that, you know, and you just, because it creeps up really, really slowly. So after a while, I mean, we did this tour. It was called Other People's Songs, and I looked at my costume. Yeah, there's a clip on YouTube called Andy Bell at Home, which shows you this. But it's my costume is like an oxblood corset made of leather, and then this Victorian gown that's kind of strapped on in these high boots. And I didn't realize I was compensating for not being able to walk by wearing this outfit, you know.
Because because you're young enough and you're virile enough, and you just don't think you don't think about it.
Right. How else did this affect your ability to perform as an artist?
Well, that came to a head then, you know. The stage was literally a living room set, so we were confined to the living room set. But after I had it done, I mean, it was an amazing experience, I have to say. That's where I learned to do Reiki. Yeah, in my recovery period, you know. Went to this rehab place and, you know, had all these spiritual things going on. But Sarah came to see us on one of our shows probably about a year after or 2 years after I had the operation. They make you get up the next day, you know, as soon as you've had it done, they make you stand up and walk, you know. So she was hiding her eyes because I was doing the can-can on the stage. You know,
no way. Oh, my goodness.
Wait, how soon after were you doing the can-can?
That was maybe 1 year afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah, she was, I think I was kind of teasing her a bit, you know.
So I'm super curious, Andy, because you mentioned Reiki and the spirituality. In terms of your spiritual philosophy, how do you connect what happened with your hips with your kind of greater overlying spiritual philosophy?
I think it was probably saying, slow down, you know, and making me like a flower that needed to be planted in the ground. Back to, you know, getting back to your roots, basically, and kind of not taking yourself for granted. You know, other people.
Love that.
You know,
we talk about that a lot here, about just like being self-aware enough to implement exactly what you just said, because it takes a lot. I don't know, you know, you wish you had it when you were younger, that self-awareness and the self-care.
Yeah. But, well, I hope so. You know, people go on about out-of-body experiences, but I mean, once you've left your body, that's it, isn't it? I mean, you can't come back very many times, can you?
Right, totally. Well, it's interesting that the hip organs, if you look at things from a chakra perspective or a more alternative perspective, the hips are the site of the root chakra, which is really the grounding and the sort of earth element. And it's sort of like where we all come from, right? So it's just very interesting that you had an experience where your hips were literally forced to stop. And, you had to literally learn to walk again, just like a child learns to walk for the first time,
Yeah.
How long ago was it, Andy, again, that you had that?
This was 2005, and I would recommend it to anyone because I know that lots of people, people have trouble with their knees, with their hips, I would just say, go and get it done.
Yeah.
It's completely, I don't even think about it. I mean, when I go through the airport, I bleep all the time. So I have to go through this special, and they always say, oh, do you want to have a private search? And I say, no, you're fine.
I bleep all the time just for different reasons, just because I'm gay. I just bleep, I bleep everywhere.
I mean, I love robots as well. So for me, it's, I'm getting
you're already halfway there.
Andy,
I'm curious about, did you make any other significant lifestyle changes after you had this surgery and this operation in terms of your diet or anything else?
To be honest, I have to say no. I just, I'm one of those people, I'm very carefree, and even though I worry, I smoke. I've just stopped again, and it's kind of, I'm a stop starter.
Got it. Right.
Yeah.
See, I always knew that too about you, just about like, 'cause I knew you like to smoke, and I was like, how can he sing so beautifully with the smoking? But you do.
Well, the thing is, you can't. As you age, you cannot do that. It's kind of, it's, I love it. I love having a cigarette every now and then, but my partner's here and he sees the, sees the other side.
Yeah. Are you one of those people in the morning who's like, don't talk to me until I drink my coffee?
Yeah, I don't do the mornings.
Yeah. We're performers. We're night creatures. Yeah,
that's it.
Oh,
yeah.
I get it.
So true.
Guess what? It's time for a little game. We're going to play a super fast little game. It's super fun.
We're going to play Dr. Wally's Hall of Fame. You're each going to get 3 questions. And if you don't know the answer, please guess because I give possible points for creativity.
Okay.
Sean, you're up with the first 3 questions. Okay, so first question, interesting. If you were paying attention during this interview, what is the name of the energy healing technique that stems from the country of Japan that promotes relaxation, reduces stress and anxiety through gentle touch?
Reiki.
Yes,
Reiki?
That is correct.
Reiki.
Yeah. Second question for Sean. What 1983 Tom Cruise film featured the song Old Time Rock and Roll by Bob Seger?
Risky Business. I mean, these
that
are
is
so
correct.
easy.
Okay,
Yeah.
Third question.
So easy.
Okay, third question. In the movie The Bucket List, what wrong name does Jack Nicholson's character intentionally call your character?
Jack Nicholson called me a lot of things while we filmed that, but he called me, I think he called me Tommy.
I'll give you that. The answer's Thomas. Tommy, yeah.
Thomas.
Wow,
okay.
that's amazing. How did you know that?
I don't know, because I thought it was a
Wow.
funny part that the whole movie, Jack calls me a different name. And then you don't learn to the end of the movie that that's not my name.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sean, you got 3 for 3, which
3
is
out of 3.
crazy.
Wow.
That never
It
happens.
never happened.
Okay. Andy, first question for you. In the human nail, which part of the nail is the cuticle?
The cuticle is the little half moon covering on the bottom, the base of your nail?
The little half moon covering is the lanula, but I'll give you a second chance. The cuticle is what?
That's just under the tip of your nail where you
Very
have the French
good.
manicure.
Oh.
That's
How
correct.
about
It
that?
is the thin skin at the base of the nail. That is correct. Okay, second question. Which 1980 Blondie song was the theme song for the movie American Gigolo?
Call me!
Yes! Okay, third question, Andy. For a tie, in the Erasure song, When I Needed You, you sing about 3 things you'd like to be. Can you
Yes.
name one of the 3 things?
God,
I can.
I would be a sailor. I would be a sailor on a captain's ship or
Okay,
something.
I'll give you that. It's technically a pirate ship, but yeah.
Oh,
pirate ship.
Yeah.
No, but that's good. Wait.
Any other? Can you name any other ones?
Yeah, wait.
Not a pirate. A sailor, no. A captain. No, not a captain. Oh my goodness, I can't think of it. No,
Okay,
sorry.
it's a child and a soldier.
Yeah, I was going to say
well.
a soldier. I was going to say a soldier.
Yeah. Okay, so you two are 3 for 3. So we're gonna now do tiebreaker round. Okay, so the way tiebreaker works, first person to answer correctly or close enough wins. Are you both ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Which British rock band released the album The Queen is Dead in 1986?
Smiths.
That is correct. Andy got it.
didn't even, like,
The
what?
Smith.
I was like,
Congratulations, Andy.
Morrissey Smith.
Thank you.
Andy, you are in Dr. Wally's Hall of Fame. A very close game. Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Thank you
Andy.
very much.
Andy Bell, before I say goodbye to you, I just have to reiterate what an incredible, important, massive deal you are in my life.
Oh, it's so lovely to talk to you both.
And Andy, thank you for coming on and talking about avascular necrosis, which affects, 10 to 20,000 people a year, at least in the United States alone. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you very much. It's not an old people's thing,
That's correct. Yeah. It actually makes up 10% of the hip replacements that are done. So,
That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. We've taken up too much of your time. Thank you, my
Thank
love.
you so much,
Thank
Andy.
you, guys. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take
An
care.
honor.
Yeah.
I'm going to go cry now.
That was amazing.
I was on the verge of tears the whole time.
Oh, Sean.
I mean, it's crazy. Like Erasure, Depeche Mode, New Order, The Smiths,
Right.
The Cure,
It's like your
all of those things.
whole life. Yeah.
But Erasure, he
amazing.
really was the first person that I was like, ooh, I love this voice. So it's like, and you know all his songs, like the earlier songs, I'm sure. You know, Respect, and all those.
It's amazing.
Chains of Love and like all those big hits from the 80s.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, but anyway, that was such an unbelievable treat for me, and then
And
to
me
share
as
that
well.
and to share that with you at the same time.
Yes.
Anyway.
Oh man. Thank you to Andy, and thank you again to our callers for calling in. I'm talking to you, Bob and Samantha, and thank you to our listeners as well.
Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, don't worry. Be healthy. Bye.
Bye.